Good boy. Good boy, Stitch. Munch. You know the drill. You know the drill. Good girl. So Stitch is going on his first adventure. We're going back to Florida. He's gonna go do a ton of fun things this weekend. It's only been a week of training for him, and it's pretty cool that he's already going on this trip. So I'm gonna share that with you guys, and we'll see how he does. Where you been, buddy? How you doing? You're so handsome. This is day 9 with Stitch, and we are in Florida for the weekend. This is his first time getting tacked up at a trailer. As you can see, he's a little bit nervous. In the past, he's been tied up at one of our H posts, which is a little bit more secure, and he feels a little bit more safe there. This is more of like an open space. He's pretty desensitized to me walking all around him. He handles the dogs being around really good, and he's just being very good about it. And this is also going to be his first time with a back cinch. I'm just going to do some prep work, lunging him a little bit with it, but I have used a rope around his belly to prep him for a back cinch, so I'm hoping he's not too bad about it. He's not really the high energy type that's going to buck out. He's probably going to have a little bit of a crow hop or two, but he's not that high energy or sensitive where I think it's going to bother him too much. But here you can see he's standing nice and quiet to get tacked up. There's all sorts of commotion going around him. This is a busy farm. My little pup is all over the place, and he's just very quiet and low-key about it. I like to right away, as soon as my horses are quiet and calm, desensitize them to me walking in front of them, below them. I like going underneath the neck, going behind their haunches, because you never know what sort of situation your horse is going to be in. So as soon as it's safe, it's really good to desensitize your horse to that, because you can be in an event and a little kid can run up behind your horse, in front of your horse, and you want to make sure that they're comfortable with that. You don't want them to be in a dangerous situation, because you can't control the environment that your horse gets put into, but you can prep them for that environment. I'm going to let him move out a little bit with the back cinch on, just lunge him around a little bit and get him comfortable with it before I get on and ride him. As you can see, he's a little bit unsure about it, and he just has to work through a little bit of a crow hop. I'm just going to keep sending him forward and guide him through it, and once he seems like he's figured it out and he's more comfortable and not so tense, I'll reward him and bring him in. I love him so much. This is Stitch's first time getting Hosedown. I did a little bit of desensitizing with it, but it was out of frame. He only had like his head and shoulder in it, so I didn't get that part in. But here he's getting a little bit more comfortable with the water. He's still tense and not too sure about it, so I'm just reassuring him and I'm touching him while I hose him down, just to pair up a touch that he's comfortable with what he's uncomfortable with, just to combine the two and help him get more comfortable. And as you can see, as we go on, he gets more comfortable with it. He's still not too sure, but he's kind of just hanging out and wiggling just a little bit. But as I go on, he'll get more comfortable. And as far as hosing down goes, it just takes time for them to get comfortable with it. The first time it's going to be a little bit weird because it's an odd feeling, but as time goes on and you start exposing them to it more, they get more comfortable and quiet with it.
We are learning about the bit today. He's very confused, but he'll figure it out. It's got copper rollers on it so he can play with it, and that's kind of what he's doing right now. He's playing with the rollers, and he's also trying to figure out what the heck's in his mouth. But in a few minutes, he should be good. And after 5 minutes, give or take, he's completely fine at the bit, and he's just hanging out, standing like a good boy with it. It's that easy. Hey, Stitchy. Hi, buddy.
I get asked super frequently what I feed my Mustangs when they first get in. For the first week or two, I'll give them about half to a full scoop of alfalfa pellets, and once they get in the habit and program of me feeding them like that, I'll start sprinkling in little handfuls of grain, and as they start eating that frequently, I'll slowly build up to giving them half a scoop to a full scoop, whatever they really need for the proper weight gain. But with the alfalfa pellets, it's something that they're used to and they enjoy. Grain's super unnatural to them, so you need to kind of help them figure it out. And this is the most efficient way that I found, and it helps them get the hang of it very quickly. This is Stitch's first real bath. He had gotten his first Hosedown back in Florida, and now he's going to get his first real bath with shampoo, and now we can start working on getting his coat healthy and get less of that scruffy wild Mustang look. And he handled this pretty well. He's the type of horse that once you show him something once, he's pretty good after that. As you can see, he's kind of unsure about it, but he's standing still and he's taking it all in. Overall, he's handling it really well. I think it felt pretty good for him having that thick coat that was getting all hot and sweaty. So he did this really well, and I was super happy with him. On day 13, we just did a groundwork day. We're going to work on pushing his shoulder away from me and getting that start of a pivot. I'm just looking that when I tap his shoulder to guide his head outwards, that he'll move his shoulder over and get a crossover. So he's not too sure what to do about the pressure. He's a little bit sensitive, which is a little bit odd for him because overall he's not like a super sensitive horse, but when it comes to applying pressure like this, he is. So I'm just going to keep guiding him. Whenever he has a moment where he's not sure what to do, I'm going to keep my energy the same and keep guiding him through it. So that way when he does get the right answer, I can release and reward him for it. So in those moments of struggle, I just keep doing what I'm doing. And as soon as he gets that front foot to step over, I release. And right there, he did kind of a stomp, but I'm going to release because he did cross over and he did step his foot properly. And he was giving me an answer. Even if it was a little bit more sassy than I would like, he was still trying, which is what I want to see. Even though this is an under-saddle training competition, groundwork is just as important, and teaching him the maneuvers like this on the ground is also going to help when it's time under saddle to teach him how to move his shoulder over. So I want to make sure I can teach him the pressure from the ground, and as well as just overall doing all these groundwork maneuvers so that he's more respectful and responsive on the ground, which is exactly what I want. I don't want to spend so much time doing all the under saddle work that he's just disrespectful and doesn't know anything on the ground. So I'm going to make sure that throughout our training period he gets buffer days where we do work on our groundwork.
I'm going to show them Tarzan's set. So we're working on getting that.
So that wraps up our second week together. We got a lot done and it was a really great week. It was super fun and there was a lot learned and accomplished. So I was super proud of him and I would say that was a great second week together.